we been set down.
I was about to say, this setup, this don't just happen all of a sudden. No.
Right.
Yeah. Project.
Right. How y'all doing? How you doing?
I'm good. It's Saturday. You know, I ain't had to go to work today. I'm chilling.
Woo.
I'm so excited. How are you?
I'm good.
You look good. You
do
look rich.
too.
You look well.
Oh Lord, here she go.
Yes, like you got money. Yes.
I wish it's coming though. It's coming for both of us. Amen.
Yes. Amen.
Right?
Yes. Glory.
Yeah. So I hope y'all tuned in.
Yes.
To round 1, episode 1.
Absolutely.
I have to clarify that because I got a couple of text messages and had a couple of conversations where people were like, I'm ready for round 2. I'm like, wait a minute. Give us time.
Good. But that's good. That's good. That means that we did something good, though.
right.
I'm excited. Cool.
Right.
Yes.
But what they meant to say is they were ready for episode 2. So round 1, guys, is like, it's for season. It's for the season.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. So that's what that means.
Yes.
Okay?
Don't rush us, please. Okay?
I'm going to just reiterate.
Yeah.
Now, this time, I am going to have something slide across the screen because...
we pointed.
Yeah. And it happened.
Okay.
And that's my segue into all of the difficulties I had with editing.
Yeah.
The first episode.
Yeah.
Okay? It was a project.
It was
okay?
a project. But you persevered. Like,
right.
That's the one thing, like, I appreciate about you. Tifa does all the editing, and you persevered. We got it out. We did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's just going to keep getting better and better from here.
Amen, because we learned some lessons.
We did. We both did.
Yes.
We both did.
We did.
Okay, because it was on certain sites for the actual podcast, like the audio, but it wasn't on iTunes. Podcast. But yeah, we learned some stuff, you know, but that's how you grow.
Exactly.
That's how you grow.
Exactly.
I'm with it.
Exactly. I appreciate sis over here too, because she was sending love, you know, prayers, motivational quotes. And I was like, I needed that. And the whole time I'm waiting for YouTube to just upload. Also, note to YouTube, okay? This is a message to you. When on YouTube, when you're uploading, if you upload a longer video, this is a lesson for our audience as well.
Right.
When you're uploading a longer video, you have to first validate your account. Okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And they let me spend an hour and 20 minutes uploading that video to tell me it's too long and they can't do it until I validate it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So YouTube, get that together. At least send some red flags up, like, you know, validate this before you upload it.
I was going to say, right? We could have started there in the beginning, and
exactly,
very true. You're
exactly.
Right. Yep.
Exactly.
They got to make some adjustments, but it's cool. We
got it. We got through it.
Yeah, first episode out, we've been getting some really dope feedback, so we appreciate you all. Like we said, we're looking to grow more and more. So thank you so much for all of the feedback that we've gotten. We've taken into consideration. So you'll see some adjustments happening. We're still know
learning and growing.
Exactly.
Learning and growing.
There you go. That's right.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
Y'all ready? Let's weigh in.
Okay, Millie Rock. Dirty. I love it. Let's get it. All
right. Okay. So, what is episode 2 called? It is called Filtering Social Media. Okay? So we have a few key points that we want to hit on. Mm-hmm. All right? And I'm going to let my sis start off first. And we're just going to get into it.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into it.
I mean, so we thought about it in the sense of relationships. Like, social media affects a lot of our lives on a daily basis. You know, most of us have phones. All of us should have some type of cell phone of some sort.
So.
But, you know, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, And we just kind of really started talking about this topic in particular and thinking about, like, back in the day, like, when we were in high school, like, you just had MySpace, your space, we all sharing MySpace. Like, MySpace, I think you said, what, Crush Spot?
Crush Spot, Black Planet.
Let me tell you, I thought Crush Spot was specifically for, like, Detroiters, like, or, like, Metro Detroiters. Like, I thought it was only people who, like, and then I started talking to my friends from, like, out of state, and they're like, oh, no, I had a Crush Spot, too. And I'm like, that's crazy. Oh, Jessica, all right, Jessica had a little Crush Spot. Oh.
What? Yeah. Never knew.
Oh, yeah, Jessica's from Texas, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, so Crush Spot, you know, Black Planet, we shouldn't have been on Black Planet, though.
No, not really, but it's all right.
Mama, I love you. I'm sorry. I did not. But thinking about how much social media has been infused in our daily lives and our daily relationships right now, we just kind of wanted to hit on a couple different topics and think about, like, how do we use social media, our experience with social media, and how that affects our overall relationships with each other. So let's weigh in. First up, let's talk about, are you really what's on your timeline? And really thinking about that in a sense of, very often people talk about posting stuff and not posting stuff and things like that. And very often you meet people and they're like, oh, you can't, like, my social media doesn't really teach you who I really am.
Yeah.
You have to get to know me. You have to talk to me. Versus some people think, like, oh, you know, no, my social media is very telling as to who I am. So I guess my question to you is, Tifa, first, is, do you feel like your timeline is a good reflection of who you are? So could somebody look at your Facebook, your Instagram, and your Twitter page and really have an idea as to who you are as a person?
As far as my actual business, like my day-to-day, the bad, you won't see all of that. Yeah. So I won't say that you will get a true in-depth, like, you know, feel for who I am on my social media page. However, if I'm posting Happy Monday, I truly mean that. Happy Monday, okay? If I'm posting Happy Tuesday, I truly mean that. Happy Tuesday. But that's really all I'm posting. And a picture here and there. But I will say that is a good representation of how I approach my day. Well, try to start my day off. At least, and then I may post like a quote, inspirational quote, or a Bible verse or something like that. So I won't say that it's not who I am. Okay. However, I will say that you won't go on my social media page and be like, okay, so Tifa just went to go get her nails done. Tifa just talked to such and such. Tifa just, you won't know my every move. And as far as my personal life, I really do try to just keep that personal. I'm not trying to broadcast that all on social media platforms. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
You know, and I think it's important to, you know, set those boundaries. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, that's at least for me, just so that I can stay sane.
Right.
But yeah, you won't know what type of car I drive or nothing like that unless you know me.
Yeah.
So
I think that's legit. I know for me, my part of like my brand outside of this was very much started on social media. So like the whole Confessions from a Tootsie Crown thing, like that literally evolved from social media, just stuff that I was doing in my personal life and how I was confessing different things in my personal life. And like, I can't remember the first time I like shared a post on Facebook and people were like, oh my God, like this is so good. Like you should kind of like share. But like you said, like those everyday moments, I think as I've gotten older and my life has become more full, I don't find myself posting as much. I think right now in the social climate that we're in, I find myself like sharing a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But very when I really think about it, like in the last couple of weeks of like actual statuses that I've actually written out and posted, my numbers have like definitely gone down a lot compared to when I did post like every day. I'm posting a status like every day. I will say that I'm very much a person where you can read stuff on social media and still have no idea what's really going on in my day-to-day life.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
My confessions and how I deal and how I manage life is one of the things about me is I try to be very intentional about my days, but that doesn't mean necessarily that I don't have hard days, because I do. I think a couple weeks ago, like, I even posted a post like, hey, today was a hard day, but tomorrow will be a better day. So just, you know, and being honest, because I think very often times social media gives people this very falsified perception that life is perfect for people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's not. Like, life is still yet happening to all of us. Even I have to laugh because even when we were trying to upload and get the stuff together, like, life was still happening in that moment, and all y'all saw was these really, really dope promo pictures and all these things that look good, but at the same time, life is still happening to us. So still being mindful of that and thinking about the fact that, you know, you only see half of the story. Exactly. Even when somebody posts a picture, like, you don't know what else is going on behind that. So
that's very true. Yeah. Very true.
That's real.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I guess my other question was very often, especially because, like, you and I are both professionals. So when we talk about thinking about working with different people, your colleagues, your supervisors, and things like that, and you see those friend requests, come through. How do you feel about accepting friend requests from your colleagues and or your supervisors?
Okay. So let me weigh in on this real quick. I'm gonna just short and simple. Supervisors, no.
Okay.
No. And maybe that's because of the field that I'm in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It might be different for other people, but for me, supervisors, no. Co-workers, colleagues, if I know you, I've developed a relationship with you, then, you know, further along the way, I'll finally accept your friend request. If I say, hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning.
Like that?
You're doing good? And I go and sit at my desk, you're probably not going to get an accepted friend request. I'm not going to, because I don't talk to you.
Yeah.
What you need to see? I mean, what's going on? You ain't going to see nothing, but happy Monday. Happy Tuesday.
This is literally the timeline, y'all. Literally.
I'm for real. Like, I post a picture. And you know what? Sometimes, like, when I'm going through something, like you said, I might post something real short and simple and say, you know, I'm happy God is showing me grace and mercy in this season. I don't look like what I'm going through. That's it. But I'm not about to tell you what I'm going through.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Neither one of us look like what we went through. Amen.
Period. Okay, because this hair. Okay.
She fly.
Shout out to Serenity Styles. What's up? Okay.
But yeah, so no. Yeah. I'm not really, but I do have a couple of colleagues, like when I was working in Chicago, that I'm friends with. Actually, a few.
Okay.
Because I really love those coworkers. Oh wait, in other places too. I didn't think about that. Never mind. Ignore. But supervisors, no. No. I'm just being real.
Okay, all right.
I couldn't leave people out. So.
Yeah, you gotta include everybody.
Yeah, because I want
text after this video.
I thought we was friends.
Right,
I got you to my baby shower.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I love you.
Yeah. So I think for me, so I'm an educator. So I work with college age students. In my former role, I had a position where I actually hired college students.
Right.
Before that, I was a college student who worked with somebody, and I actually learned from my supervisor. Then she was like, "I'm not adding you on Facebook."
Yeah.
And it was cool because I understood it. Like, those are boundaries that you set with people or whatever else. Then I became the supervisor, and I had to express to my college students, like, we're not Facebook friends.
Yeah.
We're not friends.
Exactly.
I'm your supervisor.
Right.
You work for me.
Right.
And in that, I think they didn't understand it until they got older. So when they graduate, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to sit there and tell them, but I typically tell them at first, like, hey, if you want to add me on, whatever, once you get your degree, then we can think about it. I also, like, mentor, middle pre-college age students. So now they're in college, but it wasn't until I transitioned out of that role that I was like, okay, y'all can add me on Facebook. And it's not that I'm posting anything crazy.
Exactly.
It's not that, you know, I'm out here living this wild, ratchet lifestyle or whatever else. It's just, I feel like boundaries are very important in relationships.
They are.
And sometimes people don't know what to do when those boundaries are crossed. So you assume that just because we Facebook friends, you can say certain things that you may not need to be saying to me because I'm your supervisor.
Yeah.
So when I was in one of my other roles, somebody asked me, I had a student walk up to me and ask me like, oh, I'm adding everybody on Facebook. What's your Facebook name? And I just said, no. And they were like, oh, you're too good to be my Facebook friend. No, it's not that. We're not friends. So there's no need for you to be my Facebook friend. I'm very clear about my boundaries when it comes to that. Like, I respect and regard you. You respect and regard me in my space too. So it's plain and simple for me. Like, I'm good on you. Like, some of my colleagues, like my current role, I'm Facebook friends with one of my colleagues, but we're actually cool. Like you said, like we actually I can see us being friends outside of what we do. There are a few of them, but like, nah, I don't mix all of that stuff. My personal life is my personal life. My professional is my professional. So that's pretty much it on that one. Yeah. We tapping out?
Oh, I guess so.
Tap out.
I'm gonna find a sound effect. I'm not gonna do that.
Please don't do that. Hell.
Woo! Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm just playing. All right. We're back. All right. So our next topic is privacy versus secrecy. Okay. And we're just going to relate that back to the subtopic we just discussed.
Yeah.
As it pertains to social media. Now,
I'm scared. I'm scared. What's up?
All right. Privacy versus secrecy. Are we, I'm speaking in third person. Are we like perping on social media? Or, you know, are we really who we say we are? Or, you know, is it something where, and that's the secrecy part, okay? Right. The private part, are you just remaining private because of coworkers that may try to come to your page and just get a glimpse of who you are?
Yeah.
And sometimes you may post something where you're like, you know, this is just for my friends. This is not really for everybody to see. How is that for you? So I want you to weigh in a little bit on the privacy versus secrecy, you know.
Okay.
From your perspective.
I think for me, so I talk a lot about social media very often. I actually do like a whole workshop with a lot of my students about the significance of like having social media etiquette.
Yeah.
And I just started doing that because a lot of them were graduating from high school, transitioning into college, and I don't think enough of them were really thinking about what they were posting. So they were hiding stuff from me. But what they didn't really realize is that it's really easy to see like what your social media footprint is, especially because we live in a time where who you are on social media, like people are gonna go and look your name up. So if you're interviewing for a job, like people are gonna Google your name. I Google names all the time. My friends laugh because I am the FBI in the friend group. I will find you. Okay. So I am that person. So I also always try to find myself being very mindful of my footprint. But at the same time, like I'm also a person who like I kind of live a pretty boring life. It's like I'm pretty chill. As do I. You know, I do. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty laid back or whatever else. But I think that is really important. I'm also a very private person too. Like we kind of just talked about. I think very often people look at my social media and people will probably tell you that they know so much about me via my social media, but that's really just a part of who I am. I'm such an eclectic person. I have so many different parts. I remember actually adding, my mom got a Facebook page. And first of all, it took me 3 weeks to add her. Okay. my mama was like, hey, I got a Facebook page. I'm like, girl, I know. I saw your friend request. I saw it. And she was like, you not going to add me? I'm like, ooh, I don't know yet. But and like I said, it's not because I have anything crazy on my Facebook page. Like, you know, it's nothing crazy on there.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of like, this is going to be, her kind of looking into something, into another aspect of my life. And I'm not really sure. But I added her because I have a choice as my mama. But and adding her, one of the discussions we had was, she was like, you are really, really deep. She was like, you have a lot to say. You write really well. People are really inspired by you. And I'm like, it's crazy because I'm like,
she's spitting facts.
Right. In her head, I'm just, you know, I'm always going to be her baby girl. I'm going to be her little girl forever. So for her to have that moment to think about me being an adult was just like mind blowing for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I said all that to say, like, I think I'm a private person, but I do nothing in secret.
Like, exactly.
I don't have anything to do in secret. I'm not out here like perping, and you're not gonna see the spreaded money on my page like this. Like you know, everything that you get, like you gonna see. You know, I'm just like I always say, I'm a kid from the East Side, like, and I love what I do, like. You know, if you see me in my buffs, you're going to see me in my buffs at church. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. So that's pretty much me. What about you?
Okay, so for me, definitely I'm just private, not secret. Everything is not everybody's business.
Yeah,
and everything is also not meant for social media.
Right.
I think people get that confused because I don't have to share everything with you.
Yeah.
And if you on a phone talking about, well, you know, she posted such and such, so I wonder. Anytime you got to wonder, just know you in the wrong, okay? Get out of it. Get out of it. Stop talking about it because it ain't for you. Right. It ain't for you. Yeah. I'm not posting it for a reason. So, like you said, also, jobs. Yeah. They're looking at your social media pages.
Absolutely.
This is HR protocol. Yep. That's what they do.
Yep.
Okay?
Very true.
So, they're looking at your social media pages. So, like you said, it's nothing. It's not like I'm doing something crazy on my social media page. Mm-hmm. However, it's certain things that you don't need to know about me, you know, right away. I mean, like, okay, well, her mom is, you know, from such and such. I want on her Facebook page because they looking at your friends too. Who do you hang out with, or who you know, who's your mom, who's your dad? So it's stuff like that I just want to keep private. You don't need to know all of that, especially if you don't know me. If I'm not offering that information to you, then you don't need to know.
Right.
So I would definitely lean towards the private side and not secret side. And there's certain things that y'all shouldn't be posting on social media either.
Period.
Okay? Ooh. Hence smoking and all doing all of that. And I'm not trying to scold nobody. Yeah. I'm not trying to say that, you know, my way is the right way. However, what I am saying is, y'all, we gotta tone that down, okay? We don't need to see every aspect of your life. If that's what you choose to do in private, keep that private, okay? You know. Yeah. That's all I gotta say on that.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to come on my social media, I can offer you Jesus. Okay. I can tell you about how good the Lord has been, because that's a lot of what you gonna see on my stuff. Like,
Yeah.
So, but
and I agree. Yeah. But we need more of that.
Yes.
Okay. We need
glory. I'm gonna stop acting so churchy because I'm the furthest from the churchy person.
Look, we both are, but if you want to be frank, ain't nobody experts on every single thing. Yeah. You know, we're all flawed, but that doesn't mean it doesn't qualify you to speak on it. Speak on it, okay? Now, I think we're tapping out on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna tap out on that.
Yep.
Plain and simple for you, plain and simple for me.
Right.
Okay. So, what we're going to get into last is something that I feel like we're all kind of struggling with, because there's so much on social media that's like our news, okay? Especially us young folks. We get on there to find out things. So, with that being said, does social media interrupt your peace?
Ooh. it's tried to before.
Yeah.
It's tried to. And I say that because kind of like what we were talking about in the last episode, when we talk about the current, unrest in the world that we live in, especially as African Americans. It's so much going on in the world. Like I feel like sometimes, even if it's not good, bad, or whatever else, it's very overstimulating sometimes. Because like you said, social media has become such a big part that a lot of us get on social media and don't watch the news.
Yeah.
So all of our information, I went on a fast. I fasted social media for 30 days. And I feel like I didn't know what the heck was going on in the world. I was like, the world is still moving, right? Because I'm still here. Mm-hmm. So clearly the world is still moving. And even just in watching the news, because there's so much information that you actually take in via social media. And I guess, even now that I think about it, it's messed with my peace in a few ways. One, in 2017, my sibling was murdered. My brother was murdered.
Right.
I found out on social media.
Yeah.
So before my family could call and tell me, mm-hmm. I saw it on somebody's Facebook post that he was killed.
Right.
Way before anybody. I'm trying to call people. I'm freaking out, calling family members to try to figure out whether or not it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just scrolling on somebody's social media page. I'm scrolling before I go in to do something, and I happen to see it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, when you talk about, especially now, because with COVID going on, thinking about the fact that now it's to the point we live in a world where you could be scrolling social media, and before you know it, you looking at somebody's funeral.
Exactly. That's true.
It's even to the point of talking about the whole Jacob Blake situation. I got on Twitter. I woke up that morning, I prayed, and I'm getting ready to go about my day, and I got on Twitter, and I just saw this man walking. I didn't even know what was going on, and before I looked back at my phone, because I started doing something else, I heard the gunshots, and I was like, whoa, those things, just in all that's been going on in 2020, I've definitely had to take some breaks from social media in order to not affect my overall peace.
Yeah.
Because it just got to a point where I knew it was so much going on in the world that if I didn't take a break, that I literally I was just having a hard time managing from day to day.
Right.
When the stuff happened with Ahmaud Arbery, I literally cried every day for 2 weeks straight. Non-stop. Every day I found myself in tears, and I wouldn't watch the video. I still haven't seen the video today. I refuse to watch the video.
Yeah.
Actually, I did see his video. George Floyd's video I didn't see. I accidentally saw Ahmaud's video.
Yeah.
And I literally cry every day. So yeah, I definitely think that in the world that we live in, when people are more prone to pick up their phones and record first, social media can absolutely interrupt your peace.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
What about you?
I definitely have to take breaks.
Yeah.
Because I find myself getting a bit overwhelmed as it pertains to social media. I don't know what it is for me. I'll go on there, and like Ken said, after I do my morning routine, prayer, all that, and then I'll go on there, and the first 10 posts or something that I see, those will be the ones that I like, and then I'm off. Right.
Yeah.
And it's no shade or anything like that towards anybody if I don't like your pick, because it's not intentional. It's just that which ones I see first, I'm scrolling, I'm off, because it gets to be too much. It gets to be way too much, and it does interrupt your peace. And for a minute, I wasn't always like that, because for a minute I found myself picking up my phone first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, T, I gotta talk to myself. T, what you doing?
That's what matters.
Come on now. Yeah. Pull your Bible out first. Talk to Jesus.
Yeah.
What you doing?
No,
what you
real
doing?
Talk.
So I'm being 100% honest, because I feel like we've all gotten in that habit where we're just picking up our phones first, getting on Instagram, getting on Facebook, what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Instead of let's tap in with the Lord, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see what he got going on.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Start our day off right. So, yeah, that's my routine now. And like I said, every now and again, you might get a story from me. You might get a post from me saying, Happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing? I mean, so that's really what it is as far as that. In order to protect my peace, I have to set those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So so definitely, yes, social media can interrupt your peace. And even last night, I fell asleep on the couch, and then I woke up. It was like 2-something in the morning, and everybody that knows me know that
don't you say it.
It's like a little joke, you know, but
don't you say it.
I shouldn't say it.
No, you shouldn't say it because we're not speaking that into your life.
You're right. Well, so
do you?
I mean, I just fall asleep real quick, okay? For some reason, I can fall asleep anywhere. Okay, I can fall asleep with the music playing at a family reunion, while we're outside, while we're driving. I'm just playing. Okay, I used to live in Chicago. I used to travel back and forth, and I fell asleep one time at the wheel. Okay, this is not good.
Right.
And I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but I fell asleep, and I had to get, woke up by a phone call. That's how I woke up. Okay. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank God for a phone call.
Anywho, but I woke up and I picked up my phone and I started looking through my my timeline, and I just kept seeing Chadwick Boseman. And when I tell y'all, I don't know, it was like a family member or something. Just like when I see the Jacob Blakes or the George Floyds or anybody, it's a family member to me. I don't take it lightly if I'm seeing something like that. But with Chadwick, I was just looking, I was like, no. No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm like, what the heck? But y'all, when I found out how he passed away, I was like, colon cancer, and he had it for 4 years.
Yeah.
That is nothing but God all over that, because to survive colon cancer for 4 years and to be doing movies on top of that, we're talking about action films. We're talking like movies on top of plural, like 8 movies he did from when he got diagnosed to, when he passed away, 2020. This is crazy to me. And I looked at his commencement speech at Howard University. Man, when that's what brought me to tears, because I said, man, God is so strategic in what he does and who he uses. That's all I have to say, okay?
Yeah.
He is very strategic, very mindful, okay? So what I took from Chad's life is we really, and I say we, but I feel like I've tapped in already with God, but we really need to ask God, what is it that you want to use me for? What is it that you want me to do? Because had Chad just let his storm overtake his life, we wouldn't have the movies that we have right now, like the Black Panther. Every black little boy is looking up to that superhero. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I love Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Had he not continued to fulfill his purpose, because I feel like he was in touch. He was in tune. He knew what God wanted, what God wanted for him. And that's why he kept pushing. Like, that's supernatural. That's a supernatural type of, I don't know, like a approach to something.
Yeah.
Because God, if God wasn't in it, I'm sure it probably would have took him out, because colon cancer is an aggressive cancer. Yeah. I've had a few family members who've died from colon cancer. Once they got diagnosed, then it's like, okay, a few days later, they passed away. Or So to survive 4 years, that's crazy. So with that being said, I want us to use his life as an example and as a push to really get into position and ask God, what is it that you want me to do? And also fulfill it. I know that we're in a storm right now. We're all in a storm. We're all in a battle. But that's a part of the training process, because the colon cancer for him, I'm sure that piece of it, that wasn't, that was a part of his story. That was just the storm. If he would have let the storm overtake his life, he would have never got to where he was or did what he did. So I know that we're all battling something right now. We all feel like we're in a storm. We all feel like, oh, I want 2020 to end. I want that. No, take this storm and let it fuel you, okay? Like, let that be your push. Let that be your motivation to do what you need to do to fulfill your purpose, okay? So that's what I have to say about that. And I'm very grateful for him and for not letting colon cancer define who he was and his situation and how he moved. So
I think it's crazy, like, now that I think about it, because even we picked this topic like a while ago, beginning of the week,
right?
And we didn't even know what was going to happen. And a lot of what I was reading about, specifically pertaining to Chadwick, was the fact that there were so many articles written about him in the last couple of years about the fact that, he was losing weight and people had so much to say about it. And now all of a sudden everybody is so remorseful, unfortunately, because of course his life, he is transitioned. However, you don't know what somebody is going through look, and that's it very much ties into this social media conversation. You can look at somebody's life on a screen, in your phone, on an iPad, whatever, and still not really know what they're going through. Very much to the point of that, what you just made, like, we have to be mindful that even in a season like 2020, that God is still able to sustain us.
Exactly.
The same way he took care of Chadwick.
Exactly.
In the midst of, Black Panther is for sure, like, I'm not even
I got dressed up and everything,
but I went to see Black Panther twice, and I was actually on a scooter because I tore my Achilles tendon and crutches when it came out.
I thought you was talking about actual scooter.
No.
Sorry.
No. But no, but like, to be so focused on what you were created to do, and your purpose, and doing that work and defining that, like, it reminded me in this moment of, even while you were talking, like, I'm sure he saw what people were posting about him as far as, like, seeing the pictures and all that other stuff, but he was so focused on his craft and his art and leaving his impression here. And because of that, like, literally last night when I found out, there was no place on my timeline that I could look where his picture wasn't. Exactly. And that's sincerely what legacy is. Exactly. And that essentially is what God created us to do here. Yeah. He created us to leave a lasting impression and be able to create change. And not be so focused on, well, this person got these pair of shoes on and this and this, and they posting this, and every 5 minutes, like, all that stuff doesn't matter. And I think that's why this discussion about social media is so imperative, because it's not just about what you post on social media, it's about the quality of person that you actually are, because that has a lot to do with your lifestyle. That has a lot to do with how you treat people. Yeah. People post on social media all the time. Celebrities post on social media all the time. And that doesn't mean that makes them a good person. Yeah. What are you doing? How are you affecting the world? How are you changing people's lives? How are you being an example? What is your legacy doing? How is it changing the world, essentially? Are you fulfilling your God-driven purpose? Are you carrying your heavy weight?
Right. Exactly. And on that, I would love to, Chad, you are a heavyweight. And the fact that he made reference to Ali and in his commencement speech, that right there, like when he was, saying that when you get in it's like when you get in the ring and you fighting or whatever, just when he was talking about that, it was like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely a heavyweight, and I feel that all of y'all, everybody that I'm talking to right now, our viewers, our listeners, your training days are over. I feel that 2020, God is saying that your training days are really over. It's time to tap in to what you really want to do in life, like fulfill it, okay? Rather it be a podcast, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's several, if you see all your friends doing it or whatever. If that's something that God told you to do, then do it, okay? It doesn't matter if it's doing hair, if it's doing makeup, if it's being a dancer or starting a blog or coming out with a journal or writing a book, writing a script. It does not matter. Do it. If God is telling you to do it, do it. There's a reason for everything that's occurring right now in the midst of the storm. Yeah. Okay? There's a reason for that. So I want us to all take heed and really do what God is telling us to do. So I think it's time. But yeah.
Tapping out.
Yeah.
All right. So as we wrap up episode 2 of round 1, we're gonna continue to use that language so we can help people along the way.
Okay.
We want to take the opportunity to go back and kind of talk about episode 1 a little bit and recap. So like we mentioned, we want to give you guys the opportunity to weigh in on the topics and the things. So the question that we rendered for episode 1 was, has the pandemic had an effect on your love life? 90% of you said yes, it has, and 10% of you said no. We had one person in particular who offered a little bit more to our actual survey, and they said that dudes have been coming out of left field. I mean, random and fine, but completely not for me. So it just really made me think about the fact that, like, even in like what is going on right now, you might get hit up by an ex or somebody who's just interested in you or whatever else, because people got downtime, and in their downtime sometimes people start wondering and thinking and all this other stuff. So just like, it made me really think about, if somebody hits you up, is it better to respond to them and tell them that you're not interested, or is it just better to ignore them? What you think?
My way in would be definitely to respond.
Okay.
I think sometimes, yes, you can ignore for people who don't deserve a response. And let me rephrase that. Not for people who don't deserve a response, but for people who just come out of left field, like people on the dating apps and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I'm gonna just be real. I've been on a dating app before, and then I found out that it wasn't for me. Okay. So if they're coming into my inbox or whatever, saying certain things where I'm like, okay, very inappropriate, I'm not gonna respond. But if it's somebody that like just poured their heart out and said like, I have a crush on you or whatever, I know that I don't know if you guys have you been rejected before? I've been rejected before. Yeah. So I know what rejection feels like. Yeah. So I just know that I wouldn't want to make someone feel like they're not worthy enough to talk to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely respond. As far as what I would say, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I will say, though, as far as the rejection piece goes and being rejected, I want people to understand that, especially I'm going to speak for Latifah, but just because you may not be physically attracted to me, or there may be another aspect to where you're not attracted to me, rather it be physical, rather it be, I don't know, my swag. I don't know.
Right.
But that doesn't mean we can't be friends.
True.
I think people take it and be like, oh no, like she's probably gonna fall in love with me if I tell her like I don't like her, but we could be friends, so we can't be friends at all. You can be friends with that person. I know me. I mean, if you once you reject me, that's enough. Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's okay, cause I know I'm fly. It's all right. It's all right. But that's my take on that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I will say during the pandemic, I had a couple of former interests kind of hit me up. Not on nothing crazy, just kind of on some, hey, just wanted to check in, see how you were doing or whatever else. And like I said, like I know for me, being very intentional about those moments, because sometimes like don't just hit me up because you're bored. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty mindful of that for myself. But I also like I'm very much like a person who feels like I like to make things very clear and concise. So to just ignore somebody is not my thing. But at the same time, like you said, it's all about the way that you do it. I would never just go out here and be like, yo, you're a horrible person, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I ain't got all that. But I'm always very much like, hey, you know, I appreciate, you know, maybe you want to take me out to dinner or whatever else, but I feel like it. Yeah. This ain't. I don't want to give anybody false hope.
Yeah.
So I have had that happen during the pandemic, even so much so like I had to remind myself like, you don't have to respond to that text message. Like, you know, and not in the sense of ignoring that person, but I don't have to respond the way that person wants me to respond or assumes I'm going to respond because they're bored and they don't have anything else to do.
Right.
So, just something. But we appreciate your take, you weighing in. We'll definitely have more questions and more opportunities for you to weigh in for episode 2, round 1. And yeah, just thank you all for, you know, coming and checking us out as always. We're still very much excited. We just finished episode 2, Tifa.
I know.
Crazy,
God is good, man.
Look at it. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I guess more than anything, just, you know, be mindful of what you're posting on your social media pages. Make sure that you're thinking about how your digital footprint is going to affect your overall life and how people see and perceive you, but also go out and live your life. Like, you don't have to have your phone stuck to you at all times. Like, I'm out here, it's cool for you to actually just go out and live and prosper and be everything. Like, you don't have to put your every move on social media. And you can be okay with that.
Right. And I agree.
All right.
Definitely agree with that. And also the validation piece of it too.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Don't let social media validate who you are, or whatever. Like, you're looking for an audience, you're looking for someone to validate you. You can find that elsewhere, okay? Because everybody on social media could just be perfect. You don't know. We don't know.
True.
Okay? All right. But yes, definitely agree.
All right. Cool. All right.
All right.
Thank y'all.